has an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk. This game has an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk. This game has an element of financial risk and may be addictive. Please play responsibly and at your own risk.
Last November, together we witnessed the promising debut of India's first ever live-streamed online poker series, the FTS, or the Final Table series. And with great player participation, that colossal prize pool of 8 crores in guarantees was surpassed by 1 crore. Good evening, namaskar, and welcome. My name is Peter Abraham, and I'm exhilarated to welcome all our viewers to the India Poker Championships Final Table Series 2.0. Along with 25 tournaments, the second edition of this spectacular online series promises a guaranteed prize pool of 10 crores. And that's not all. The final tables of 8 feature tournaments are going to be live streamed with the face-up cards of every player straight to you, so you can see exactly what's going on, the minds of these players when they're playing at this final table. And across the next 8 days, we are going to be joined by some of the top poker professionals across the world like Sam Razavi, Kevin McPhee, Muskan Sethi, and various other top pros from India on the live broadcast. So stay tuned across this series for a whole lot of fun and red-hot poker action. And to kick off the grand opening of this IPC Final Table Series 2.0, right now I'm going to be joined by a gentleman. Well, he really needs no introduction by now because he's already become a really big thing in Bollywood with his signature tune of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. But he's got a little special surprise with this one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about the FTS Series 2. It's a wonderful series. It's a fantastic series. It's the best series. No one knows more about baseball than I do. Oh, it's poker. It's poker. Anyway, I want to talk to you about the guarantee. Now, the guarantee on this series is 10 CR. That's got to be fake news. In the States, a CR is like a restroom. Oh, it's cash. Oh, it's cash, my favorite. Okay, so it's 10 CR cash. It's CR nonetheless. It's a wonderful CR. It's the best CR. Fantastic. It's number 10. It's the best. No one knows more about CR than I do. It's in the cash, not the restroom. Anyway, if you happen to win one of these tournaments, you're going to get a wonderful prize. A brilliant prize, a fantastic prize. You get a beautiful medallion. And it's not just any medallion, there's lots of medallions. There's silver medallions, gold medallions, a diamond medallion, and my favorite, a beautiful, wonderful orange medallion. There's no orange medallion. That's fine, there's a medallion. It's a wonderful medallion. It's a fantastic medallion. It's the best medallion. No one knows more about medallions than I do. So I guess all there is now is to wish you good luck. For the whole series, and well, I wish you wonderful luck, beautiful luck, the best luck. No one knows more about luck than I do. You should have got an orange medallion. That would have been fantastic.
And along with Sam, we are going to be joined by someone who has already faced the steep competition in the final table of the Kickoff event of the debut Final Table series. He has been playing since 2017, and apart from bagging multiple titles of several feature tournaments and millionaire titles, he also won the GG Sunday 315 bounty event for $55,000. And his heads up for this online event was none other than Fedor Holz. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Sagar Chaudhary. And it's my absolute pleasure to welcome to this live stream Sam Razavi and Sagar Chaudhary. To introduce the first of our commentators, Sam Razavi is a player who's cashed out in more than 200 live tournaments. He also finished runners-up in the 2018 WSOP Millionaire Maker, and because he's such a huge fan of Asia, he was a prolific player on the Asian Poker Tour, having won the Player of the Year at the APT 4 consecutive years. I'm guessing there is a huge amount of missing out on these Asian tournament events that, were once happening pretty much many times in a month.
Oh, I mean, I was teased at the beginning of the year. I think I saw, the APT is coming back to Taiwan, and I thought, right, that's it. I have to just get out of here and go and play a tournament. And then, and I realised I'd have to self isolate for 14 days, so the tournament would be over by the time I get there. And yeah, it's just, I just feel dehydrated from a poker sense.
But let me throw the same question to Sagar Chaudhary, our other panelist for this evening. Sagar, you've played plenty of live poker, and of course, there's a bunch of online stuff that you've done. But in all of the live poker that you've played, what have been your top 1 or 2 destinations that you're really keen to get back to once, all of this COVID stuff gets put to rest?
Yeah, maybe WSOP in 2022, because 2021 I don't think it is going to happen. Yeah, I have been to Goa and Vegas only.
Okay.
Normally I don't travel much. I am much more into online poker.
Fair enough. Well, this edition is all about putting your best game face forward, even if it is online. So, Sagar, why don't you put your best game face forward about various situations that you might find yourself in? Let's see some of that.
Something sort of this when I'm confused what the person is making, what the moves he's making.
So what's your game face when you want to bluff?
Something sort of this. No,
Game face when you have absolute horrible cards. So let's get started with today's final table. The first final table that we're going to feature is of the second tournament of this FTS 2.0. It's the 75 lakh guaranteed kickoff event, which started yesterday with 718 entries that registered for this tournament. Let me add here that the winner of this kickoff event, along with the prize money, is also going to be felicitated with, yes, Sam, you're precious. That's right, an 18-carat gold medallion is going to go the way of the winner of this kickoff. And of course, the other feature events as well. Everyone who wins one of these titles is going to get a medallion, and be ready to make sure that you will receive calls from a certain part of the world, which is on that side. Let's take a look at the 8 finalists who have made it to this final table of the 75 lakh guaranteed kickoff event. Up top is a gentleman called Prakhar Kapoor, who's playing as Prak 27. He's got 2.5 million in chips, and Prakhar has won the Spartan Recharge tournament as well as 2 IOPC titles. So certainly there is no lack of experience from this gentleman as far as, playing on the big event finale tables is concerned, and he'll be looking forward to flex that 32 big blind stack of his to make sure that he runs deep as possibly he can in the course of this final table. Next up is Arjun Agarwal playing as Arjun AG, and he's also got a stack of 2.5 million in chips, a little bit lesser than Prak 27. And as far as Arjun is concerned, his last big achievement was coming third in the Spartan High Roller for a sum of just under 10 lakhs. This Delhi-based player is 29 years old, and he's been playing poker since 2014. Third on this table, and well, since it's Women's Day, it's nice to have a lady on the table. Neha Saini is playing as Enkush, and she's got 2.0 million in chips on this final table. We don't know much more about her, so we'll go on to the next player, who's Gaurav Sood, a very well-known quantity from the Indian circuit, who's playing as Mozzie 17, and Gaurav has 1.8 million as his stack. And his last big achievement was winning the BPT online for 18.6 lakh rupees. And this gentleman is playing out of Gurgaon, and he's been playing for about 3 years now. So a lot of experience there as well. The next name in the list is a very familiar one, because this gentleman won the Spartan Millionaire and also the last FTS's main event. That's right, I'm talking about the very fun name of LOL, this guy. That's Arjun Pasricha, who's there in the middle counts of the chip stacks with 1.7 million in chips, and Arjun is playing from Delhi. Rounding off in the last 3 names that's here, that's Amit More, who's playing as Timerom, if I'm getting that right, and he's got a stack of 1.6 million in chips. Last 2 players, again a familiar name. In 7th position is Gokul Raj playing as Super Kings with 1.1 million in chips, and he's also the winner of the first IOPC Super High Roller event with 28 lakhs as that prize. He's been playing professionally for the last 3 years, and he's based out of Goa, which is where I am right now. Wonderful Goa. And last but definitely not the least is Pulkit Mehra, who's playing as Mahi Marega. There's no lack of creative names as far as this final table is concerned. So Mahi Marega is Pulkit Mehra playing with 717,000 in chips. He's the shortest stack on the table. Let me ask you, Sagar, first. You know a couple of these names, certainly, maybe more than that. Just right off the bat, who do you think are the picks here, to make it to that top 3?
Yeah, most likely it will be Moji 17 or Arjun Pasricha. And I would have said Gokul Raj, but he's on the little bit shorter side of around, I think, 13 bit. But yeah, these 3 are most likely going to take the medallion, gold medallion.
Sam, I think, I don't know if you know some of these names here, but I think you know maybe a couple of them. Certainly you know Arjun Pasricha, considering that he was the winner of the FTS Main Event the last time that we commentated together. So I would say that Arjun is probably one of your picks as well.
Yeah, I think he's really going to be pushing to get that first win under his belt, coming straight off a victory in the last series. But I also remember seeing quite a bit of Gaurav Sood. He's sort of midway in the pack, isn't he?
Well, there you go. That's exactly the point that I was going to make, that, it's not just these titles, the medallions and the gift hampers. It's also those leaderboard points that is much coveted by a lot of these players who are participating or going to participate in the course of this series. Getting to that final table means that you're racking up more points for the leaderboard. So certainly one more thing that needs to be looked at. But what we can tell you for sure is the prize payouts that are going to happen in the course of this final table. Let me begin from the first payout, which is a sum of 14.39 lakh rupees. That's a lot of cookies that you can buy. So up top, 14.39 lakh, and second place will get 9.03 lakhs, followed by 6.46 lakhs for third place. And we go all the way down to 1.6 lakhs for the 8th place finisher. That's the min payout that'll happen. Gentlemen, since we're about to kick off, literally kick off with this kickoff event, the course of this live streaming, of this final table series, let me get your thoughts before we sort of get right into the action. Sagar, what are your general expectations over the course of this final table? Do you think it's going to be like all guns blazing, people playing completely crazy, or do you think we're going to see a little more solid poker?
I think people are going to be crazy because the top 2 with whom I have played mostly online, Prakhar 27 is, he's going to be putting a lot of pressure. Arjun Agarwal is pretty aggressive. Like, I believe he is one of the most aggressive player I have encountered online in Spartan.
Well, just extending to what Sagar said, Sam, I guess the chip leaders are going to do what chip leaders are going to do. Make sure that they are the table captains and sort of bully their way to the top 2. Well, at least to heads up with the strength of their stacks.
Yeah, we've seen, certainly in the last series, that the those that have chips are definitely not afraid to start swinging and getting into the action straight away.
For sure, we're going to see some action. It's just a matter of how quick that action is going to take place, because we've seen some short final tables over the course of the last FTS and the IOPC. Well, it's been wonderful having both these gentlemen with us. Sam, of course, continues with us, but we're going to say goodbye to Sagar Chaudhary, who's been kind enough to join us for this pre-show, and he's shared his valuable thoughts with us. Sagar, thank you so much for joining us. And we hope to see you at one or maybe more of these final tables in the course of this coming week of the FTS 2.0. Once again, thanks so much, Sagar.
Thank you, Peter. Let's hope so.
So we have an exciting lineup of players ready to get on with their actions at this final table. And let me repeat, the winner of the 75 lakh guaranteed kickoff event, along with that 14 lakhs in prize money, is also going to be felicitated with an 18 karat gold medallion, a game face mask, and a special gift hamper as well. So, what are we waiting for? Let's raise the curtains of the final table of this kickoff event at the India Poker Championships Final Table Series 2.0.
Players, put your hashtag GameFace on.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
races, as they say, in terms of this final table getting underway. I think we're facing a slight technical difficulty in the visuals here. Yeah, the table is not visible at the moment. I'm just trying to fix that. Just give us a second. There we go. All right. The table's fired up. We can finally see the cards. And for those of our viewers who are joining us at this moment, don't worry, you haven't missed out on much. But it's quite the packed final table here at the FTS 2.0's Kickoff event. Alongside me, of course, Sam Razavi, always entertaining, always affable. Sam, I think we can look forward to some pretty good poker action now.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to go down. Great to be back, and yeah, envious as always I am. I'm a rusty card. I haven't seen a pair of cards myself for a long time, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, Mahi Marega, very interestingly named Mahi Marega, who's the short stack at the table. That's Pulkit Mehra, who's got the Jack 7 off. And he's up against Mozzie 17, that's Gaurav Sood. We're going to wait for this hand to play through before we bring in our special guest for this evening's panel. Ooh, pocket aces for Super Kings right there. That's Gokul Raj, who's sitting in on one of the shorter stacks, a little over $1 million in chips for him. He'll be happy to see those cards, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, optimal is probably to shove given the limp. Because you're expecting, I don't expect limping 6-8 diamonds out that stack under the gun +1. I would have thought he's much stronger than that. So, I guess if he's opted the limp, he's probably going to feel free, and he's going to get in trouble if that's what he does. Obviously, I bet this is the first hand. Yeah, I don't know if that's a limp by mistake or what, but
yeah,
strange.
Misclick issues happening at this FTS. Well, as the next hand kicks in, it is my pleasure to welcome this special guest on our panel for this evening's broadcast. She first shot of fame with her appearance on Shark Cage, and of course from there on she's done plenty in the poker world with a lot of deep finishes and titles in the course of her very young career. She's also the winner of the President's Award. It is my pleasure to welcome to this live stream Muskan Sethi. Muskan, very nice to have you here with us.
Thank you so much, Peter. You always give such nice introductions. Just make my day, and then I can be in a nice mood now. I'm super excited to see this final table, because I was reading these boys last night, and 3 of them are like good friends. So let's see what they get up to. I am going to see all their secrets today.
Pocket 6 is for Mozzie 17, who of course puts a few more chips into the pot with that hand. But I'm guessing he's not going to get too much joy from N. Kush.
Yeah, and I think Kush wants to get fruity here.
Given there's so many other short stacks here, and I feel like a few players are going to play, be a little ICM aware today, especially at this point until the smaller stacks bust out. So I'm gonna, but this is also a time for a few of them to get a double up, because people are not going to be calling off that light. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Actually, on the flip side, I mean, this is knowing that people are going to tighten up for that reason. When you get played back, those sixes, for example, have been in a really tough spot. And Christian decides to go a bit wild with the king three. That's why I always get a bit, with that awkward stack size on the button. I don't know whether to just, I'm not going to raise full off with sixes, so sometimes, I don't know if it's in vogue these days, just to pile the whole lot in on the button, and if you get called, you get called, as opposed to losing 2 or 3 big blinds.
Peter, I'm a bit distracted by Gokul's display picture. Who is that with him in his profile picture right now?
I'm struggling to figure that out myself because it's really tiny on my screen, but clearly it is someone off note. We'll find out if Gokul runs all the way through this evening. I'm sure we'll get on a call with him and just figure out exactly who that person is next to him.
Come on, chat, help us out. I am super confused. Does it look like Jakobsen or is it a cricketer? I don't know. This is really confusing. Sam's gonna give it a shot.
I don't know. I mean, it also looks a bit like, is his name Barney Trouble because of the... I know it probably isn't him, but it does look...
No, I think Barney's got like much more of a ginge kind of a look to his hair, so this guy looks more blonde.
So now this player, the small blind, he is Amit More, and he is a player we need to watch out today because he is going to take some unconventional lines, and he is not that red, but lately he's been playing a lot of tournaments, and he is somebody who I feel is someone who believes in more exploitative than GTO. That's a few things we've seen from him in the past, so it's going to be interesting. And obviously Gaurav Sood, Mozzie. Here we have Arjun Agarwal. He is also from Delhi, 29 years old, and he came third in the Spartan High Roller for 10 lakhs. Wow, he's been playing since 2014. That's super interesting, and he has opened. I mean,
bit loose, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, considering he was under the gun, I would have expected something a little more stronger in terms of just showing the table that, don't mess.
Yes.
no, but I guess you gotta keep the aggression, don't you think, Sam? Like, if you,
Yeah,
I
mean, that's exactly what I was going to say to counter that. Is he's amongst the sort of top 3 in chips. It's a pretty hand. People are maybe playing, a bit more cautious. So, I mean, you just have to take it as it comes, I suppose. If no one else is leading the action, it's a pretty enough hand, I suppose. And if people aren't playing back at you,
what do you have to say about this pre-flop call on the button with such a...
I don't like that at all. I don't understand
Well, Muskan, you mentioned unconventional. It seems like he's really living up to the mark here. Oh, 4th hard on the board. This can't be causing any joy for either of them.
It's just
Oh, wow. I mean, if I'm in Arjun's spot here, I'm going to be a bit suspect. If I want to follow through with the bluff, I might check back to the heart to make it look like I was on the semi-bluff and now I've hit, and then go for the big overbet on the river. But it worked out, yeah. I didn't like the cool pre-flop, I didn't like the pin click, but the heart come to his rescue, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that while his earlier play could have been titled a bit circumspect, but I think he pulled the trigger when it mattered, so good for him, and I guess he's been rewarded with this next hand, ace queen offsuit.
Yeah.
Well, are we seeing the same table or what? What's happening here?
That's some voodoo stuff going on here. I don't know what's happening.
He absolutely slayed it.
Misclick, 100%.
Okay.
He might be running around celebrating the bluff got through and then he's come back. That's definitely an error. He wouldn't have folded that, I'm sure.
Amit More, come on, man. Misclicks on the FT. No. Gotta be a little more careful, buddy.
And sorry, Sam, what were you saying?
No, carry on, please.
No, you say. Go.
I was going to say, we I did talk about, some players, they're at final table, they might want to, make their mark now and, make an impression. And
Yeah.
it would certainly make an impression if you come in and say, I'm going to fold all the premium hands and play really, really unconventional. But
Oh my God, Sam, you might have just cracked it here. You never know. That's what Amit is really going for. He's like, okay, I'm done with. He's so sick and tired of losing with premiums, and now he's decided that he's just gonna go with the tricky ones.
yeah, this is an interesting one here, especially if Prac 27, I'm not sure who the player is, decides to barrel all the way.
Prakhar Kapoor, yeah.
This is a nice sort of jam or fold. I don't think.
And he has 2 IOPC titles, so he's won. Like this guy understands, how to apply pressure, how to finish, and he's quite good at that. So, Prakhar Kapoor.
Sorry to cut you off, Muskan. We're just experiencing a couple of audio glitches. We're going to refresh the stream and be back in a couple of minutes. Please bear with us. We're just going to fix this audio glitch and come right back to you.
It's coming from Sam's side, no?